Hello and welcome to the debut episode of the Debrief. If the views are down or it's a failure, this will probably be the only episode. On today's show, myself and Ollie give our expert opinion on the 2019 driver lineup. What's your thoughts on that lineup? Ollie takes part in the clickbait of a 4 challenge, and I attempt a JPTV impression. Hello guys and welcome to the first episode of the Debrief. I'm going to leave this in, because I knew you were going to do something along those lines. So this is going to be I'm trying to... So this is...
I promise.
You're doing this on purpose. So this will be a monthly series. Ideally it will be coming out at the end of each month, and we're basically going to be discussing the news and the races in the F1 2019 season. Providing that he actually shows up each month, joining me is Elite Crashy. Say hello.
Alright.
So in the first episode, as there's obviously no races, we're going to be reviewing the driver lineup for 2019 and give some predictions.
Yeah.
So first up, we're going to be starting with Mercedes, which obviously is Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. What's your thoughts on that lineup?
Well, it's basically like Ferrari back in the V10 days. It's just you've got the clear leader, and then you've got the dribbler that helps him out, like Schumacher, and that's not a nice thing to say about Barrichello. I actually rather liked him, especially when he was with Williams. He was a bit of a legend. Even though I was whining about that move that Schumacher did on him in 2010, which I thought I take inspiration from that every single time I go on F1 2018. For me, it's the strongest lineup by far on the grid. I think anything like the thing that comes close is Ferrari. Of course, that's the only lineup that comes close. Like Vettel and Leclerc, that's going to be something interesting to look forward to.
Are you saying it's the strongest lineup just because it's got Hamilton in it?
No, I'm saying that because, well, how many seasons is it now? 5 in a row for Mercedes in the constructors, and
yeah, since 2014.
5 in a row for drivers as well, with Hamilton getting 4, Rosberg getting 1, of course. Hopefully Bottas can put up a bit more of a fight next season. It can be a bit more like Rosberg. That's something that no driver wants to be like. Well, I think that's what he's going to have to aim for to get anywhere near Hamilton, the supreme driver.
Yeah, I completely agree. Bottas is shit. So moving on to Ferrari.
I would not go that far about Bottas.
He's pretty shit.
I think if he was a Ferrari driver, then I think things would have panned out a bit differently. I think him and Vettel aren't. I'm going to get destroyed for this, but I think
it's fine. It's my comment section.
They really aren't that different, no.
So if you'd like to discuss this point with Elite Crashy, I'll leave his Twitter in the description below. So moving on to Ferrari, obviously Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc. Personally, I think Vettel is going to not retire, but get kicked out of Ferrari if he continues like he did last season. Charles Leclerc is probably going to, much like Verstappen, just going to be stuck at Ferrari for the foreseeable future.
I think personally it's a bit of a quick step up to Ferrari for Leclerc. I would have expected him to spend a few more seasons at Alfa Romeo. Yeah, he'll spend a few more seasons at Alfa Romeo than he actually did. I think that would have been more beneficial for him in the long run. I think this early move might be a bit detrimental in the future, because he might just get stuck here with Vettel. I mean, how old is Vettel? I think he's still got a few years on him.
And Vettel's 31, Hamilton's 34, so...
Oh, Vettel's got 10 seasons in him. I mean, he's that good. He's probably got 10 seasons.
Are you just trying to cover your ass when the Vettel fans come to your Twitter?
Of course. No. Of course not. I just love Vettel.
Yeah, I mean, I personally I remember at the start of last season I did tweet quite a few times that Leclerc was overrated. Unfortunately, I couldn't tweet that from Baku onwards. And
Was it this season that had the banging race, or last season? I mean?
well, both did. It was 2016 that was the crap one.
Wait, wasn't it the puncture near the end for Bottas in 2018?
Yeah. 2018 was the one Hamilton won, and was shit all weekend.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's really been a long year. 2018. It's 2019 now. Hopefully this one goes a bit quicker.
Okay. Moving on to Red Bull, we've got Max Verstappen and Pierre Gasly. Verstappen obviously staying with the team. He's probably stuck there until he retires, knowing Red Bull. And we've got Gasly moving up from Toro Rosso. I feel quite strongly about Gasly, so what do you think about him?
When did he join Toro Rosso? It was 2017, wasn't it?
End of 2017, yeah.
It was, yeah, end of 2017. Oh yeah, with Kvyat getting kicked out and all that.
Kvyat got kicked out and Sainz moved to Renault, so it was Hartley and Gasly from some like Mexico,
USA or
maybe?
Mexico,
yeah,
something like that.
It was USA. Yeah, USA.
I'm quite an avid Daniel Kvyat supporter, so I wasn't best pleased when I saw that news.
You're really not helping yourself, the Vettel fan, but
Gasly has grown on me a bit. I will admit, I think he's all right. Consistently outperforming his teammate Hartley over the course of the 2018 season and the back end of the 2017 season. So, I think that's a pretty him at Red Bull. I think he's a pretty solid number 2 driver. I don't think he's anywhere near Verstappen. I think that's going to be quite a gap in performance there. But no, I still think he's going to be a solid driver, getting points in like the lower end of the table. Yeah,
consistent 6th place finish.
Something like that. So the odd podium maybe.
I mean, I couldn't agree less.
Oh, why is that?
I just feel he's got the Red Bull seat because the Red Bull program have run out of drivers.
Who's actually in the Red Bull program?
Exactly.
What's that nowadays?
Exactly. Well, they did have a lot of drivers ready for a Toro Rosso seat, but because Kvyat caused problems, they've gone through them so quick they're now out of drivers.
Actually, no. Looking at the driver lineup, they do have a few. I think the only prominent one for me is Dan Tickton.
Doesn't he? He doesn't have enough.
Like
he doesn't have a super license, or he doesn't have enough points or something.
Yeah, he's currently in Super Formula. I'm not sure. That means that I don't know what that means. I'm not that clued up on it actually. I'm not gonna try.
This is why this isn't a serious review.
Because we don't know. To be honest, this is F1 for dummies at this point.
We're just here to slate the drivers and then move on. So moving on to my favourite team, the Renault team, Daniel Ricciardo and Nico Hülkenberg. Anyone that follows me on Twitter will know my opinions on Nico Hülkenberg, so by all means, Ollie, take it away.
I think this will be the dark horse of the season.
Yes! Yes! You can stay on the show.
Thank you. Yeah, I wasn't actually guaranteed a contract with the season, but I hope that sealed the deal now. This Renault propaganda. Yeah, I think these two are going to be consistently performing at like the top end of the midfield, like getting 4th and 5th and 6th. I think it's going to be an interesting inter-team battle to see between Ricciardo and Hülkenberg because they're both pretty decent drivers. I think it's a bit too harsh to be calling Hülkenberg overhyped. He hasn't always had the rub of the green in many ways. That 2010 pole position didn't do him any favours. Since then, he's just become like the dead horse that everyone's beaten. But I think that this season Nico Hülkenberg is gonna have his best season yet.
Yeah, so I actually do think this is going to be the strongest lineup, and I'm not saying that just because I'm a Renault fan, just because it's two very good drivers. Daniel Ricciardo, obviously, former numerous race winner. I want to say 5 race wins, 4. Numerous race winner. Nico Hülkenberg, probably the most consistent driver when the car goes his way. I mean, he wrapped up Formula 1.5 with 2 races to go. So, but
Yeah.
I do have to admit, I don't know who's going to win out of these two in the team battle.
I think we also need to factor in the Renault car, because I think they've been a loose cannon of late. They haven't really stuck to a particular pace. That this season their car wasn't the greatest. I don't think it was. I mean, it was all right. It performed at times, but
It's
more
much
often
like
than
Toro
not,
Rosso. It started off
wasn't like
one
the
of the
best.
strongest, and R&D kind of let them down at the end. So moving on to the Haas team, Roman Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen. What are your thoughts?
That's unchanged, isn't it? That's unchanged
is.
from when? 2017?
Yeah, because
2016
Gutierrez,
even maybe.
Gutierrez
No,
was,
no, no.
Grosjean's been in it since 2016, since the start. Gutierrez was in the 2016 seat, so yeah, unchanged.
Magnussen moved from Renault. Yeah,
Yeah.
got it. That. Pretty bog standard, really. Pretty average. Not the most entertaining of teams, really. I think they were a bit of a ghost in the 2018 season. You never really took much note of them. I think it's going to be another season like that in 2019. Just not much going on.
Yeah, I agree. They're just boring. Moving on to McLaren, Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz. Obviously, well, arguably, one of the worst cars of the 2018 season. What do you think of that lineup?
Well, it wasn't that bad a car in 2018, was it? It was mediocre, I think. I mean, there was more than they had been doing since 2014 or 2015. That's when the real problems began. So I think it's a slow, gradual rise back to the front for McLaren, and I think this will be another okay step towards that top 6. It's not the most exciting driver lineup either. I mean, it'll be fun to see what Lando Norris has to offer, but I just from what we've seen from Lando Norris in his junior career, he's actually a pretty exciting driver to watch, but I don't know how that's going to translate into F1. I mean, I think this is going to be another kind of ghost team like Haas, as aforementioned.
Yeah, I mean, I agree slightly. I feel like Alonso made the team look a lot better last season because he is obviously a very good driver. But I think Van Dorn was the one that showed what the team is actually capable of, and that was getting out qualified 21 to nothing, which is why he's no longer in the sport. But
that's actually a good point you made. Those are going to be massive shoes to fill for Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz.
What,
trying
Van Dorn?
to replace. Yeah, Van Dorn is what I'm on about. Yeah, Van Dorn in his massive shoes is absolutely massive shoes.
Maybe top 6 if they get a decent car, but I reckon 7th at best in the constructors. Arguably the most controversial lineup, Racing Point, no longer Force India, but Racing Point F1 team. But Sergio Perez and Lance motherfucking Stroll. Now, if I recall, you were briefly a Stroll fan.
No, that was all ironic. I can assure you that no one will tarnish my name as a Stroll fan. That never happened.
I mean, you pissed off the Vettel fan base. You don't want to piss off the Ocon fan base as well.
Well, whilst we're at it, actually, yeah, I do really like Lance Stroll.
Okay, care to back that up with evidence, or? I mean, they've got at least one good driver in the form of Perez, consistent last season.
Let's just see if we can stay away from Stroll this season. Stay away from his teammate.
They had a decent car, like for the past since 2017. They've had a decent car, so they could aim for 4th place again, but I don't know. It depends how much money they actually get given. Obviously, Stroll's dad is paying for it, so who knows? They could take a step back. I reckon they will, especially with their driver lineup.
I think this is going to be another dark horse to look out for. disappointed that Ocon isn't part of the team this season. I actually think he deserved it over Perez. I'm not gonna lie.
Everyone seems to think that, but if you actually look at the championship and qualifying, well, Ocon beat Perez in qualifying, but out racing, Perez actually won. So Perez definitely went under the radar last season, and I reckon was quite underestimated last season with Ocon as a teammate. Yeah, Perez got 8th in the championship with 62 points, Ocon 12th with 49. So you can't really argue with that. Penultimate team, Sauber, Kimi Räikkönen and Antonio Giovinazzi. I think Räikkönen should have retired, in all honesty. I've thought that since 2014. Here come the dislikes, but I don't like Räikkönen.
That won't get you in anyone's good books.
I'd like to thank everyone
least
for
WTF
helping me
ones.
to 200 subscribers, and I look forward to aiming for that milestone once again.
Yeah, WTF1 hate you now, and everyone that likes them.
Who the hell likes
Oh, but
WTF1?
Kimi-
But that's the topic. That's the topic for
I
another.
love Kimi Räikkönen. Kimi Räikkönen's my favourite driver. I really love Kimi. That's Radion actually.
WTF1 is a
everybody's
topic for another show. But Kimi Räikkönen and Antonio Giovinazzi, what do you think of that lineup?
I don't have a very long summary for this driver lineup. I just like to imagine the memes when Giovinazzi inevitably wipes the floor with the old cunt.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Kimi Räikkönen. It's not a lot I can say about him. Then you've got Antonio Giovinazzi. I'll be honest, all I remember from him is spinning twice in the same place at China in 2017. I mean, he's been in F1 technically since 2017 at least. I don't know anything before that. He might have been Ferrari's test driver, maybe, or reserve driver.
I think it was Sauber's reserve.
But Raikkonen and Giovinazzi, I mean, Sauber had a very good 2018, so they could deliver once again.
Yeah, so
Let's have a quick
the
look.
only way is
'cause I
up,
know,
I think.
obviously, Leclerc scored a fair few points. So Leclerc last season, 13th with 39 points, and Marcus Ericsson 17th with oh that's worse than I thought. Ericsson 17th with 9 points.
Still getting points on the board.
Yeah, fair play to him, but I honestly thought he'd scored a lot more points than that.
Yeah, I was expecting double figures at least there.
I mean, Van
So
Dorn
disappointing.
outscored him.
Oh, that isn't great.
Moving on to Toro Rosso, we've got Alex Albon and Daniel Kvyat, a controversial lineup because I don't think anyone was
Why
expecting.
so?
I don't think anyone was expecting Kvyat to come back.
That is very true. But here he is, like an absolute phoenix, coming back from the dead, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy to see the return of the Russian. He was.
Well, of course you are. You
He
hate
was-
Vettel.
I don't know. I love Vettel. Vettel is my favourite F1 driver. What are you on about? Kvyat got some overly bad luck. I think he was in the wrong place at the wrong time many a time. I think there are two prominent examples from 2016 when that's when it all started to go downhill for him. But he's back, and I can't wait for him to be the little hype train that he is in 2019. And Alexander Albon, I did see a bit of him because I did follow F2 for a little bit in 2018, and he was near the front. He won some races, if I'm not mistaken. If I haven't got dementia, he won some races.
Fucking hell. I was not expecting that. Moving on to the final team. I think we're going to clash on this. It's going to be very awkward. But George Russell and Robert Kubica.
Oh,
Would you
here
like to
we
take
go.
the floor?
I'd be honoured to.
Before we get into this, Ollie is actually Polish, which is why what I'm going to say could cause problems. But
For this, I want the Soviet national anthem behind this. It's been 9 years. It's been almost 9 years in the making. This, I think, the greatest story. It's up there with the likes of maybe Jesse Owens, the Cool Running story, and then we have Robert Kubica, an amazing talent. He doesn't care if half of his left arm is missing. Or is it right arm? I'm not the best Kubica fan. Oh no. He doesn't care if he's got half an arm missing. He's gonna get back to F1. He doesn't care if an arm rail, a guardrail, just go through his arm. Is it arm rail? I don't care. He doesn't care if a barrier. He doesn't care if a barrier goes through his arm. He's gonna get back to F1. And where is he now? He's back in F1, and he's with Williams, and he's gonna absolutely kick George Russell's little British bottom. He's gonna destroy him. He's gonna. May I say it? He's gonna get the championship this season with the Williams, and he's gonna show everyone what they were missing for the 8 years he was out on the sport. He was going to show everyone what he was going to get with Renault. He was going to drive a Ferrari. He was tipped to be a Ferrari driver, but that fell through. Dare I say it? He's like Jules Bianchi. No, okay, that's where we draw the line. That's where we draw the line. Oh.
Well, right up into that last line, that was beautifully said. So, what are your thoughts on George Russell?
George Russell.
You don't sound as passionate.
He's really? No, I didn't notice a change.
So this is where the arguments start. I don't have high hopes for Kubica.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. Is all I've got to say on that.
I mean, I'll keep this short. My opinion on Kubica. I personally think he's only at Williams for Williams to get money for sponsorships and publicity. That's honestly what I think.
Oh God.
George Russell, I think, has actually earned this seat. Did very well in F2. Obviously, well, won F2. Was neck and neck with Norris for a fair bit of it, I think. So, who knows? If McLaren deliver a shit car once again, we could see those two battle at the back. Kubica, I really don't have high hopes for. I honestly think he's just going to be sat at the back, probably getting outperformed by Russell.
I think it's going to be a tight fight, but
I reckon qualifying.
Going to come out on top.
I reckon qualifying it will be close.
In the race, all over.
In the race, I reckon Russell will outperform him.
Oh my God! Can we just like put 2010 Monaco, Kubica, when he got like third in the Renault. Oh
yeah, but that was on
God,
Renault, and he had both his arms. So I guess the last thing to do is predictions. So top three we'll say top five for constructors and top five for the drivers.
Mercedes gonna waltz away with it again, in my opinion. Not even a challenge. I think Ferrari gonna bottle it once more, but I think this time they're gonna bottle it earlier. Alright. 2018 Germany was a turning point for the championship, wasn't it? But I think here we're looking at something at Hungary or something like that. Okay, second Ferrari, definitely. I mean, there's not even much contest. And third, you just have to go Red Bull. It's just the same. It's just copy and pasted from the start of the V8. It's from the start of the V6 era. It's just the same old top three. Fourth, I think, is going to be Renault. I think there's no real competition there. I think it's going to be the top three racing away with it. Then like quite a big gap to fourth, and then from fourth there's going to be quite a big gap down to fifth. And my fifth place spot, I think, will have to go to Williams. Honestly.
Well, I agree with your top three. Mercedes are going to win it once again. Ferrari second, but I reckon it will actually be closer just because of Charles Leclerc having a better, well, two very good drivers. I don't think Vettel will bottle it as much as last season, so I reckon it will be a bit closer. Red Bull third once again, just because of their car. Verstappen will probably carry that team. I mean, Gasly will get a few podiums, I'm sure, but I can't see him having too much of an impact. My fourth in the constructors, it's got to be Renault. Really strong lineup, and if their car keeps on improving, then it should be a very easy fourth position for them. Fifth, I'm going to go with Sauber, because obviously a massive improvement in 18. As much as it pains me to say it, a strong lineup. Raikkonen I reckon we'll get some very strong results. So yeah, I'm calling Sauber for fifth. What's your top five in the drivers then?
Well, first, it's definitely going to be Hamilton. That's just a given at this point. Second, Vettel. That's since Rosberg retired, that's the only thing we look forward to in the that's the only thing we look forward to in the championship at the end of the day. Third, Klaas, because I just don't see Leclerc being suited to an F1 championship battle just yet. So it's just gonna have to be Leclerc fourth. It's gonna be Mercedes Ferrari for me in the top four. Fifth place for me is gonna have to be Verstappen. He's a bit of an outsider to those top two teams, and he's just the better of the two drivers at Red Bull. So I think he's going to be lingering a little bit behind. Although Red Bull do have a Honda engine for next season, let's not brush over that. So that might go anyway. I didn't even factor that in for any of my predictions.
We're not very good at this. So my top five prediction for the drivers, I'm going to go for Hamilton win once again, just because he was dominant last season, literally untouchable. Second, I honestly think I am going to stick with Vettel, but I think third is going to be Leclerc, very close behind him. I think it's going to be very close between the two Ferrari drivers, not very close between Hamilton and Vettel. Fourth, I'm going to go with Verstappen. And fifth, I'm going to go with Bottas.
Well, that wasn't going to be anyone else, was it?
I mean, Bottas, I don't think Bottas is going to make it to the end of the season. I reckon come Belgium, he'll be out.
Oh, that's controversial. And who's going to replace him?
Ocon. Feel free to insult us in the comments on how we've offended your favourite driver. Our Twitters will be in the description below, so if you'd like to attack us privately in the DMs, feel free.
Although I probably won't respond in a month. Sorry.
Hello and welcome to the game show Clickbait. Start with a 4 because it looks a lot better. This is the game show where you are given a possible YouTube title and you have to determine if it's a real YouTube video or it's made up. Our contestant today is Ollie. Ollie, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself?
Right.
So that is Ollie, everyone, our contestant today. So Ollie, are you ready for your first possible YouTube title?
I think I remember learning about this. I'm gonna say true.
What? Okay, your first possible title, Ollie. More traffic than the M25. Is that real?
I've seen it on Arrow's channel. Yeah, that's real. I've seen it on Arrow's channel. That's definitely Arrow. I've seen that.
So you get a point for determining if it is fake or not, and if it is real,
it's real.
If it is real, you get a point for telling me the correct YouTuber.
It's Arav. I've seen it. It's Arava. Arava. Aarava. It's real. I've seen it.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer.
Well, you do get a point for determining if it was fake or not. It is real. That is a real F1 video.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Woo. Come on.
But it's not Arava.
Oh.
It's the other twat, Tiamat Marduk.
No. Oh. Oh. Better luck next time. Oh, what was that?
Don't really cut that.
Please.
Your next possible title. Intense Germany GP race. So much traffic. Is that real or fake?
What can I get? The answer right, and I'm gonna do that right now. That's not true.
You don't think that's a YouTube title?
Final answer.
That's your final answer, okay.
I'm locking it in. I'm twisting the key.
Well, in fact, that is a YouTube title.
Fuck off.
And the video in question was created by Arava.
Oh.
That is a 2018 career mode video.
Oh, who watches that?
Are you ready for your third title?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Three-way scrap for the lead. Almost ends in tears.
Oof. Oh. I think I'm gonna have to say fake.
Is that your final answer?
No, it's real. That's my final answer. It's real. That's a real title.
And who do you think is the content creator behind that title?
I'm gonna have to go with my favourite YouTuber, Arava.
Well, I'm pleased to say it is a real YouTube title. I'm afraid to say it's not an Arava title. Surprising, I know. The actual content creator behind that title is Ali K's friend. I don't know how to say it. New Cruise.
What? Net Cruise?
That's the one. Your next
Whatever.
title. This race broke my wheel. All in capitals.
Can I go to the audience?
You can, but I'm afraid the answer won't get sent to you for another 2 weeks when this video is released.
But what about the live studio audience that are definitely real?
Well, Ollie, I'll be honest with you. You got this far into the competition. You deserve to know. It's not a real audience, I'm afraid.
Oh, it's all cardboard cutouts. Why do they all look like you?
Just answer. What? What?
Fake. I'm gonna say fake.
What the hell? Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Congratulations, that is a fake YouTube title. Your next title. F1 2018 news. Cross-platforming is a thing.
Oh, someone's baited so hard there. Someone's done a dirty there. That is horrible if that's real. And it is. It's definitely Arav. I'm gonna go with real and Arava.
It is a very convincing Arava title, but I'm afraid that is a fake title.
Oh, you did that. You knew that he had like a new series going on. Oh, you're a little dickhead. That's horrible. That's. How many more questions?
2 more. No,
Oh,
3 more.
Yeah, okay, that's even better. I can win this back.
Your next title. OMG. Insert clickbait here.
You're a dickhead.
Is that
That's
real?
one of mine. That's one of mine. That's one of mine. I don't know why I remember that. That's one of my videos.
That is the correct answer.
Oh my god. Horrible. You're a horrible human.
Okay, your next title. Inside a Mercedes.
That's it.
That is it.
This is a very it's a very vague title. I think that's another bait. I think that's fake. That's fake bait.
You think that's a fake title?
Yeah, bait with a 4. Clickbait with a 4. That's fake.
That is the wrong answer. So
if it's
you've got it wrong anyway. If you had to guess, who do you think wrote that title?
It's Into the Barrier, isn't it?
It's one of mine.
Oh, for God's sake.
F1 2015
Of course
career
you'd have
mode
done that.
inside a Mercedes.
Of course was that the Massa one?
That was, yes.
The Massa career mode. See, I'm
A legendary
big fan.
series on my channel. So, are you ready for your final title?
Yeah.
You're currently on 5 points. I don't know what that's out of, but you're on 5 points. Your final title is Arava, the worst F1 YouTuber.
Ooh. That's a big curveball to end on. That could be by anyone. Maybe it's not even a video.
Well, that is the
That's
idea
like-
of the game.
This could be like some next level F1 beef. We're gonna get diss tracks. Oh, no.
The F1 community needs diss tracks. I'm all for it.
It's true.
You believe that is a title?
I'm gonna say X Matty G.
Well, I'm afraid to say it is a fake title. I just wanted to say that in a video. So you end you end the competition, or you end the game 5 out of 14.
Oh my god, I did terribly. I thought I was doing alright.
That was shocking.
No, we need guests on here to do
You
what
are
I just did.
you are the worst contestant to ever grace this show.
But also the best at the same time.
Thank you to Ollie, our contestant.
I don't have anything to say. I will be. Yeah, I'm.
If you're watching the show, then there's a slight chance you might know who I am, although if you don't, then I don't blame you, as I haven't uploaded for the best part of the year. So if you're watching and you have absolutely no idea who I am, then first of all, I hope you are enjoying the show. I hope Connor's been a decent host. Probably hasn't. And secondly, just to introduce myself for the second time this show, I am Ollie, or Oliver, and I go by Elite Crashy on YouTube. That's ELITECR4SHYY. It's a shit name and I wish I could change it. So the purpose of this is for me to showcase my channel, I suppose. I mean, it is called the Channel Spotlight. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I mean, we could go on F1 2018 online and see how that goes.
Look at me on the map.
That looked bad.
Look at turn
Right.
3.
Let me know you're
Why?
right.
Right, so that didn't quite go to plan. I guess I could go on GTA, unwind, do some races, maybe some free roam instead.
May, why is it a panto?
Oh, it's a panto race.
That just means it's quirky, mate. If it's
Mate, don't rain on my parade,
mate, where
mate.
you gone? Oh, you're getting up. No, get off the desk. Get off. What?
Were you talking to your cat?
Yeah. Mate, I failed
Off the
it.
desk. Off now.
No!
Oh, that was cool. That was cool.
Mate, get out of the way, mate!
Oh, that was
No,
really
no,
weird then.
no! Mate, and
Have you messed up?
mate, I've done more than mess up, mate.
I think there is, mate, because I've just messed up with his pipe.
Mate! Whack. Mate, no, I'm not gonna make it now.
Did you make it?
Barely. I'm now flipping in the pipe, mate. So I hope you're pleased, mate. No. Okay, it's weird. Okay, perfect lap, mate. No. I messed up in the pipe. I messed up in
Mate,
the pipe.
don't
So
pipe me, mate. Hey,
No,
mate.
mate.
Mate, get out of the
Mate,
way,
it's
mate.
weird, mate.
Get out of the way, mate.
Mate, that was weird.
Mate.
Mate, it's a straight
Mate,
shoot
come
up to
here.
the finish,
Come here,
mate.
mate.
No, mate, I won't be. Did you just spin? Oh
It's
my
a
God.
shindig,
Oh my
mate,
God.
it's a
Oh my God. Can't stop predicting to the shindig, mate. Mate, and how have I won that?
Nay!
What you just saw was essentially a summary of what the GTA on my channel is like. I'd like to thank Connor for giving me this opportunity to take the spotlight, and good luck to whoever does it next, because this took me 3 weeks to actually be arsed enough to do. It's really boring. You just have to gloat about yourself for 3 minutes, and some people